Hello, my name is Liv and today we're going to be completing a square. So this is a very hard topic, so don't worry if you don't get it straight away. We're just going to work through it step by step and hopefully by the end you'll be able to do it on your own. So I've got a question written out here already. So write x squared minus 6x plus 1 in the form of x minus a in brackets squared plus b, where a and b are integers. Now, I've got in this corner over here some steps that we're going to follow through, and hopefully by the end of this you'll be able to remember those steps and then be able to answer the last two questions on the screen. So we're going to work through the first question together. So we've got x squared minus 6x plus 1. So where do we start? So up here we have, number one is to draw your brackets. So we're going to do that. We're going to draw our brackets out like this. Okay, step 2, write x. Easy so far, you don't even have to do any maths so far. Okay, next one, keep the sign the same. Now what I mean by this is this sign here, you're going to write next. Keep it the same, exactly the same as it is written there. Next step, half the coefficient of x. Now coefficient means the number in front of x. So the number in front of x here is 6, and we have to half that number, so we're going to write 3. So far we have x minus 3 in your brackets. Now step 5 is close your brackets, which we've already done, and square it. So this means you're squaring the whole bracket, not just the 3. Hopefully you've already done expanding brackets, and you'll know that this means that you would write the brackets out twice, not just squaring everything inside. Step 6 is to minus the square of the number in the brackets. Now this seems like a bit of a confusing one, so I'm just going to talk you through it. It is always minus. Now this is where people get confused, because in this question, yes, this one is a minus, but even if it was a plus, you still would minus next. Okay, and I will show you why this is. This might seem like it's just like a step-by-step for now, but in a second when we expand it back out, you'll see how it works. So you're going to minus the square of the number in the brackets. Now this is the number in the brackets, 3. So we're just going to square that. So we're going to go minus the square of the number in the brackets. And then the last part is keep the last part the same. The last part is plus 1. So we're just going to keep that exactly as it is. So that is essentially our answer, but always, if you can simplify things, try and simplify. So we're just going to rewrite this again as x minus 3 all squared, and then we're going to figure out what this is. So what is 3 squared? That is 9. So we're going to go minus 9, but then you've also got to add the 1. What's minus 9 plus 1? Minus 9 plus 1. If this confuses you a little bit, you can switch it around. So 1 minus 9, which is minus 8. So I'm just going to cross this out and rewrite it as minus 8. So there is your answer, x minus 3 all squared minus 8. Now I'm going to show you how this works. So if we were to expand out this bracket, it would be x minus 3, written twice, remember, because square means you write the whole bracket twice. And you're going to do minus 8 at the end. Now we're going to start with the brackets first. So we're going to do x times x, because remember we're going to do this method. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. Remember that that is minus times a minus is always a positive. So it's plus 9. And then don't forget to have your minus 8 at the end. So if we simplify the terms, gather the terms together, you have got x squared minus 6x and then plus 9 minus 8 is minus plus 1. So we've ended up with that exact same equation that we started with. So I hope this shows that we have ended up with the same thing. Even though there is a logical way to complete the split square, it does actually end up meaning the same thing. It's just easier to do it in the steps. So I'm going to say, if you're watching this video back, pause the video and have a go at these next 2 questions, and then I'll show you the answer. So we're going to go through these questions for you. So step 1, draw your bracket. Step 2, write your x. Step 3, keep the sign the same. This time it's a plus, because that's the plus there. Step 4, half the coefficient of x, the coefficient being 10. Half of 10 is 5. Step 5, close your brackets and square it. Close your brackets and square it. Step 6, minus, always minus, the square of the number in the brackets. Now the square of the number in the brackets, this number here, 5 squared, what's 5 squared? 25. And then last part, keep the last part the same. So that is plus 2. Now you're just going to simplify that slightly so that it becomes x plus 5 squared. And remember that's all squared. And then minus 25 plus 3 becomes plus 2 becomes minus 23. Now we're going to try this one. We're going to start again, draw your bracket, write your x. Keep the sign the same, so this time it's a minus. Half the coefficient of x, which is 2, so half of that is 1. Close your brackets and square it. We're then going to minus the square of the number in the brackets. Now the square of the number of 1 is just 1. And part 7 is keep the last part the same, so we're minusing 1 again. Again, you always want to simplify your answers, so we get x minus 1 all squared minus 2. Hopefully you got those 2 right. If you didn't, go back over the video and try it again and see if you end up with those answers. I hope this has made completing the square a lot easier and a lot more methodical, because when you follow those simple steps, it's really not that bad. I'd just like to highlight as well, in an exam, when you'll be asked this question, is when you're finding things to do with a circle. Now just bear that in mind for next lesson, because that's what we'll be doing.